it's Alex here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Space Knight Venom Build-A-Figure Wave's Electro. Now I got this figure back in the box without the bath part, but that doesn't matter to me at all because I only got this figure for $8. And even though I already got the Retro Collection Electro for $12, I still kind of want to have this figure. One of the reasons is the alternate head. Its price has already gone up in the secondary market before the Retro Electro arrived, and then was brought down when the focus shifted to the classic Electro. I guess this went up for between $30 to $40 here locally. Then I saw one being retailed for $24 where I almost pulled the trigger on that one, and gladly I did not. $8 is a sweet deal. Now I'm gonna be able to display a modern Electro without his classic mask. On the right side we have Hobgoblin's artwork. On the left side we have Max Dillon. Here's a look at the bottom. On the top says Build-A-Figure Wave Marvel's Venom, then Spidey's logo. At the back the rest of the figures from this wave, Max being the third with Space Venom's right leg. Now we have both Hob and Max at the back because they share the same packaging for Hasbro to save some money. And then it says Powered Up and Bent on Revenge. These menacing villains are powerful opponents, if that makes sense to you. And even though the box is all bent up and withered, I don't care, I'm able to save a lot on this for $8. Now let's get this thing open. For Electro's accessories, it's kind of unfortunate that Hasbro didn't include any alternate hands for him. Including the classic head is very great because you can either pose him in his almost classic look or his modern look, because at the time of his release in 2016, we're still 4 years too early for the Retro Electro. We only have the ones from the Toy Biz era. So having options on how you'd like to display him between his heads is always better. For the aesthetics, Electro is using the tried and tested body mold from the Hobgoblin Waves Pizza Spidey. Though I'm not 100% quite sure, I guess the thinner build is the one more suited for the modern Electro compared to the bulkier version of the Retro Electro, which is using the Spider UK body mold. The alternate head has a darker, almost golden yellow mold used for the lightning. The eyes are metallic blue. The smirking lower face looks very good, and then it's only plain black at the back of his head. This is the same head sculpt used for the 2020's Retro Electro, but only on wider yellow. Going to the main head sculpt, this is part of the reason why I still want this, but don't get me wrong, I still prefer the classic one. It's just that I find the modern take very menacing and badass. His eyes are also painted in metallic blue. The paint apps for the electricity isn't really perfectly aligned, but not really a big deal for me. And then his teeth are well painted. Moving on to the torso, his body is molded in green, so the yellow electric effect on his body and arms are painted, as well as the black around his neck and forearms, which isn't really sloppily painted, so that's a plus for me. The electric effect is painted all the way inside his abdominal area, so it won't look weird when doing some leaning poses. His hands are molded in translucent plastic. Unfortunately, we don't get any alternate hands for neutral poses, but following the late Glenn Webb's advice, you can go ahead and use Speed Demon's alternate hands if you have some lying around. So there you go. It fits well, even though it doesn't really match the colors 100%. But looking from afar, it doesn't really matter that much. So long! Moving down to his legs. Legs are molded in black, so the lower part and feet are painted in yellow. Then some peg holes at the bottom of the feet. For Electro's articulation, his head can look up and down, rotates, tilts. His head is sitting on a hinge and ball peg. His arms can rotate, can raise this high. Butterfly joint to allow for forward and backward movement. Bicep swivels, double jointed elbows, wrist can hinge up and down and swivels. Ab crunches forward, leans back, waist twists, can kick forward really high, back just a tiny bit, splits, thigh swivels, double jointed knees, no boot swivels, foot hinges forward and back, and with ankle rockers. Electro stands at just under 6¼ inches tall. Here's how tall he stands with Electro from the Retro Spidey Wave, and yes, you can interchange the heads. Here we have him with Spider-Man also from the Retro Spidey Wave, and Symbiote Spidey that uses the same body mold as him, as I don't have the Pizza Spidey at all. There's my review for Marvel Legends Electro. I almost didn't want to pull the trigger on this one because it was either him or Dread Knight for the same price. Unfortunately, Dread Knight is incomplete with his cape and lance. It would have been fine if Dread Knight doesn't have his lance but his cape, but having no cape kind of soured the deal for me, so I went ahead and picked Electro. If you still don't have any of the two Electros released and can only pick one if you have to choose, I'd say this Electro and the Retro Electro. Just get both of them, you'll still like both of them. Though they may have their strengths and weaknesses, I really didn't care much for those. I'm just happy that I have both now. It may just fall depending on your taste. If you like the thicker, more classic look, then go for the classic one, or if you prefer this thinner, modern look, then go for this. The only thing that I probably didn't like is having no alternate hands, because reusing body molds is already given when it comes to Hasbro's Marvel Legends line. Thank you for watching my review for Electro. Please click like if you like this video, subscribe if you like watching Marvel Legends action figure reviews and other stuff, and as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next video.